Once upon a time in a faraway land where it's flat and immense and the heat is intense, a man named Walt Disney built a theme park. It's a magical place where millions of people gather to hang out with Mickey Mouse and wait in long lines while gobbling down overpriced funnel cakes.
That's cool!
They say it's the happiest place on earth.
Or is it?
There's a myth that nobody dies at Disney World. Not only is that a bunch of horse pucky, but there's actually been a high number of onsite fatalities through the years. Perhaps you would like to hear the tale? Okay, proceed with caution, because these are disturbing stories where there is no happily ever after. Consider this your Tigger warning.
Sure.
You're now in the lightning lane for death and entertainment.
Oh boy!
Live from Los Angeles.
911, what is your emergency?
Here in Hollywood now.
2 counts of murder,
Injury and death.
Shocking new details
That has stunned the entertainment world.
This makes me a little nervous.
The hair stood up on my arms.
Just like in the movies.
What do you call this thing anyway?
Death.
In
Entertainment.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Die Pod. My name is Kyle Plouffe.
My name is Mark Mulcairn.
And I'm Alejandro Dowling.
As you can see, Mark is on location in the town right now.
Yes, I'm putting this in my rear view and my front view because I'm currently here.
Yeah.
Where are you, Boston?
I'm a little bit outside Boston in an undisclosed location, like a stone's throw outside of Boston.
Don't let the people know.
Yeah, I got freaked out recently just because I tagged like a location I was in recently. I'm like, what if someone wants to kill me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe they should. Maybe that's actually a good idea. So then I decided to keep tagging myself in locations.
Yeah. One thing I learned from these stories that we cover is if you ever are using social media, always post where you were after you left. So no one can come kill you immediately.
In real time. Yeah. Give yourself like a 20-minute buffer at least.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, but we're going from Boston all the way down the eastern seaboard to Florida, Orlando specific. Well, Kissimmee, I guess, would be specific. And we're learning about...
Kissimmee St. Cloud, I thought.
Yeah.
Did you say kiss a who?
Kissimmee, baby.
Kissimmee St. Cloud. Or is that like, maybe that's just like another town within that area?
Yeah.
I remember they would sell this little part of outside of Florida, which is like a cheaper area of like outside of Disney.
Yeah.
Called Kissimmee St. Cloud.
Ah.
You two are experts.
Hey, been
If
there
you know
once
it,
or
you
twice.
know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Mark, you're on vacation, and guess what, Deados? You're all going on vacation too. Because we're going to Disney World.
Woo! Ow!
Okay, y'all pumped up because in lieu of the pop culture flash, today I have something that's called Mickey's Morbid Morsels.
Ooh.
And I got 5 of them for you.
All right.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, number 5. Did you know the Beatles died at Disney World?
Wait, what?
So,
Like the band, or what are you talking about?
That's where Yoko made the decision?
the band was disbanded by that point, really. And the rest of the group had all signed their termination papers, so to speak. Everyone except for John. And so he went on holiday to Florida, to Kissimmee or Orlando, whatever you want to call it. While he was there, kiss of these nuts.
Hey,
Whoa!
we're at the children's park here.
A lawyer from Apple Records delivered the termination papers to John Lennon while he was at Disney World, staying at the Polynesian Village Hotel.
Oof.
And he signed the papers on December 29th, 1974, with the Magic Kingdom as his backdrop.
Wow.
Goodbye, Beatles.
Never knew that.
Man, very sad. Very sad. What usually you celebrate after something big happens and go to Disney World. He did the opposite. Yeah, great graphic there. It's perfect. Yeah, he celebrated the dissolution of the best rock band
What
of
is
all
that in the
time
bottom right
at
corner?
Disneyland.
That's the Blue Meanie.
Oh, nice.
The Blue Meanie came and captured John's spirit while he was on vacation.
There you go.
Number 4 of Mickey's Morbid Morsels. The original Pirates of the Caribbean ride supposedly has real human skulls, taken from the UCLA Medical Center.
Really lost their heads there.
Or they gained some heads.
Hey, give me some head.
Where's my Disney heads at?
Right here.
Oh yeah, Kyle, are you one of those weird Disney adults?
I love going to
Let's
Disneyland.
get this out of the way here.
Yeah, I love going to Disneyland.
Well, all right, a lot of people do, but you know what I mean. There are people that are called Disney adults that are obsessed with Disney.
Yes.
And they go all the time.
Yeah.
You're not quite that.
I don't know all the Easter eggs at the park, but I go with people who know all of them, and then they point them out to me.
Okay.
So
What does that mean?
I'm a secondhand
Unpack
Disney
that
head.
a little bit.
Yeah, what does that? You go on an Easter egg hunt?
Yeah. No, there's like
What?
little hidden things inside of Disneyland and Disney World that you would never know. There's hidden Mickeys everywhere. There's a whole book of them. There's hidden Buzz Lightyear, like running down the street with the cone over his head like they did in the movie that's like hidden in the Cars world and stuff in Disneyland. Trust me, I could be here for days talking about it. But I didn't know those. My friends who are really Disney geeks told me about it. And so now I know all that stuff.
Wow, I wish I had that last 10 seconds back.
Hey, you're the one that told me to say it.
And I'm sure 5-year-olds love finding that stuff.
Yes.
Okay, number 3, Mickey's Morbid Morsel. Number 3, people scatter real ashes at the Haunted Mansion.
All the time.
So they bring the ashes of loved ones to this attraction, which is ghosts dancing or something. Kyle?
Yeah, it's a mansion that's haunted.
Yeah. Okay. But there's a ballroom inside
Yes.
where they dance and
Yeah.
I don't know what else
They're
they
having
do.
dinner, the art comes to life and shoots each other, and there's a whole lot going on.
Okay, so some people think, oh, wouldn't it be great if we put Aunt Myrtle, in the dining room?
Yeah, exactly. And it happens all
That
the
Aunt
time.
Myrtle.
They have to clean it like every week, and they will come over the loudspeaker and tell you, like, we're stopping the ride because you just did that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And some people smuggle the ashes in like beauty containers or something, or
Yeah,
water
like
bottles.
Baby formula.
Right.
Any type of powder.
These aren't ashes, this is just cocaine.
Yeah. Let's go.
So there are some like very unhinged group of like super Disney fans out there.
Yeah.
All right. Mickey's Morbid Morsel number 2. Did you know that there are 2 creepy abandoned parks in Disney World?
Ooh.
Number 1 is River Country, opened in 1976, closed in 2001. And guess what? We're going to hear more about why it closed in a little bit.
Yes.
And then we got Discovery Island, opened in 1974, closed in 1999. Both of these areas are just rotting right now as we speak.
Yeah.
It looks like a Westworld like chapter or something, or an episode where
Yeah.
like no one goes there anymore, but they have to like go have like a last battle there or something. And
Right.
Everyone dies.
Okay, are we ready for Mickey's Morbid Morsel numero 1?
Let's do it.
Here's the urban legend. Supposedly, no one dies at Disney parks.
That's not even an urban legend. That's like what Disney comes out and tells people.
It's a propaganda.
Yes.
All right, well, you know what? This is an interesting question, and we're going to spend the rest of the episode answering that.
Yes.
Can somebody die at Disney World?
Join us, won't you?
Did we have fun with Mickey's Morbid Morsels or what?
So much.
I mean, Mark
Yeah,
can
that's a
hardly
tongue twister,
contain
too.
himself.
Some sweet, sweet morsels.
I just broke out of my straitjacket.
And before Kyle jumps into the fatalities of Disney World, spoiler alert, people can and have died at the park.
Many.
Okay, so before we jump into the deaths, this is what I call the Disney World pre-mortem. Let's understand how we got there, okay? Disneyland opened in 1955. Big dream of Walt Disney. He'd been running the company for 20 years at that point.
Yep.
He wasn't exactly thrilled that only a small percentage of visitors came from east of the Mississippi. So it was mainly Californians.
Yeah.
And we all know how annoying they are.
Don't get me started.
So he wanted to have a world, if you will, that the rest of the country could enjoy.
Uh-huh.
He had higher aspirations than just that one measly Disneyland.
Not a one-trick pony.
So he set his eyes on Florida, where it would be cheaper, he'd have more control, and a lot more area to work with.
Before Florida really became the Florida we know it today, to be a hellscape.
This was the seed.
Yeah.
The bad seed. In his vision, the main attraction of this new world was going to be Epcot, experimental prototype community of tomorrow. So Disney bought tracts of land in secrecy in the mid-1960s. They didn't say that it was Disney that was buying this stuff. So they were collecting all the land, and then the idea for Disney World was finally revealed to the public in 1965.
I wonder if it was just like because they knew they would get some pushback or something, or it would be more financially beneficial if they kept it a secret. I don't get that.
If you're a guy that's like working for a big client, you don't want to tell them because the people who are selling the land are going to jack the price up on you too.
That's
like,
the answer.
Disney? Yeah. So they would be like, oh, it's just for my dad. Let's get this land for 10 cents.
Disney, you say? They got deep pockets, that mister.
Hey.
I'm going to hike up the charges here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did get it insanely cheap.
Wow.
So just as plans started going underway, Walt became ill with lung cancer. He was a heavy smoker his entire life, and he did not use filters. Don't know if they would have helped, but...
Yeah.
And then he died on December 15th, 1966, at 65 years old. He was cremated, I wrote that in quotes, cremated 2 days later.
Wow.
But some people think he was cryogenically frozen and that he's stored in a deep freeze chamber under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Only hoping to be freed by the Nazis.
So he could join their party whenever he thawed out.
When they rise.
Hitler comes back to life. He's like, Walt, up now. So Snopes, Snopes says that he was cremated.
Wow.
Take it with a grain of ash.
There we go.
Nice.
Walt's brother Roy went on to oversee the development of Disney World. So he was always the business guy, and Walt was the creative guy. They pretty much founded the Disney company together, though. And Roy later changed the name of Disney World to Walt Disney World.
Oh, that's nice.
As a tribute to his fallen brother.
You said frozen or fallen?
Yeah.
Interchangeable.
Yeah.
The park opened on October 1st, 1971, 16 years after Disneyland.
Wow.
Roy died of a stroke 3 months later at 78 years old.
This park was the death of him.
It really was. Jesus Christ.
That's two deaths right there.
Yeah, exactly. Before they even opened. Well, yeah, one of them.
You could argue that it killed both of them, this
Yeah.
Disney World idea.
Claimed their first two victims right away.
And then that pretty much brings us to the whatever. The bulk of what we're going to talk about on this episode.
Yes.
And to end this pre-mortem, everyone knows Walt Disney World, the most visited theme park in the world. It's made up of 4 parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and the Hollywood Studios, formerly MGM. There's 2 water parks, 31 hotels, golf courses, tons of stores, restaurants, and as Kyle informed us, Easter eggs.
Yes. Many of them. And they also have their own emergency services. They have their own, fire department. They have their own police. They have their own everything. Medical personnel.
So it's like Woodstock 99.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure they do equally as good as the job as the people at Woodstock 99 also. If I have a heart attack in Disney World, I want a real doctor, not like some theme park doctor, with like goofy hands.
Yeah. Goofy runs in and scrubs. Gorsh, you look like you're in pain.
Jeepers creepers. I hope you're going to be okay. Hong Kong.
Donald Duck comes in.
That's a great Donald Duck. Yeah, he puts a cigarette out on my chest. Suffering succotash. This guy's had
it. Now you're doing Looney Tunes.
I know. I'm all over the map here.
I thought I taught a dead person. I
did. All right, so the next section that Kyle's going to take over for us is called The Tragic Kingdom.
Or
Flounder's Fatal Flukes.
Or
Goofy's Gory Glimpses.
Or
Simba's Stomach-Turning Story Time.
Alejandro with these alliterations.
I know.
Guys,
I thought there was a writer's strike on.
Yeah.
Oh, guilty.
Yeah, this is why Eisner doesn't want to hire anybody for writing.
Yeah. This is the reason for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to destroy Hollywood.
Yeah. All right, so the first death we have here was inside of the Magic Kingdom on November 4th, 1974. The incident, a carpenter died from a mini explosion caused by glue at a construction area in the park. I'm guessing it was very high quality, like sticky glue that had like crazy vapors. The type of glue that people huff, I would imagine.
Oof. And it exploded?
Yeah, it must have been near some sort of fire or a spark from a hammer or something. And
was it like a 50-gallon drum of it or something? Like
it must have been.
A ton of glue.
Yeah,
like the dip in Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So there was a lawsuit, and in 1976, the widow of the carpenter filed a suit against 3M and the Travelers Indemnity Company. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that's the insurance company for Disney.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. It's an insurance company, basically.
Yeah.
So that was 3 years after opening.
They had a good run.
Yeah, that's a happy 3 years.
Yeah.
And this is called the happiest place on earth.
It is. Also in the Magic Kingdom, Main Street, USA, August 11th, 1977, a 4-year-old boy drowned in the moat surrounding the Cinderella Castle.
Oof.
That is crazy. I never knew about that.
Wow.
The family sued Disney for $4 million and won. However, the jury found the parents 50% liable for allowing the boy to climb over the fence and reduced the settlement amount to $2 million.
But also, come on, I want to play devil's advocate here. The parents are just letting their kid run wild, and it's not.
So you think $2 million was too much?
No, I think the family should get whatever they got coming to them. I just think like they should be a little more focused on what the kid is up to in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, first Space Mountain death came up August 12th, 1980. This is also in Magic Kingdom on the Space Mountain ride. The cause of death, natural causes / pre-existing condition, which I'm sure Disney really loved to hear.
Yeah.
It was a 10-year-old girl that became ill while riding Space Mountain, and she later died of a pre-existing heart condition from lack of oxygen.
That's a little harder to believe when it's a 10-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was a 70-year-old, I'd be like, oh, okay. That checks.
I think everybody thought while I was talking they were picturing like a 90-year-old man. And this is a 10-year-old girl. And no lawsuit.
I was picturing like the grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah.
going like, "Give me the Space Mountain, please."
There's an oxygen machine back behind him.
Yeah.
Going on to
Yeah, that explodes.
Sure, you think you're okay for this ride? Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm fine.
August 22nd, 1980, at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, there was an 11-year-old boy that caught amoebic meningomama, amoebic meningoencephalitis. So an 11-year-old boy died after swimming in the River Country Water Park. The cause of death was that it's like meningitis pretty much when your brain gets eaten by this amoeba, a rare disease caused by a single-celled amoeba, traces of which were found in the water he was in. It entered through his nose and made its way to his brain.
Ugh,
My God, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Oh, and this lawsuit is crazy. There's no lawsuit. It was ruled that this bacteria can live in any warm water, so it was not the fault of Disney.
I think Disney has it has its own security system, but it also has its own like judiciary system that like court system down there too that are very friendly to Disney, especially in the early years because they're like the only game in town really. There's not really much else going on around here, so they own all the politicians. It's like Vegas kind of.
Yeah.
In like the early years, so I don't know. I think some of these court proceedings could be kind of flimsy outcomes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that was how Disney World came to be when I said they made the public announcement in 1965. It was with the governor of Florida. So it was definitely a hand in pocket kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, backroom deal, kind of, smoky cigar room back deals kind of thing.
Scratch my back, I scratch yours. Let's scratch each other's backs all over these dead kids.
Jesus. And then I'll add that this is actually the incident that they say eventually led to the demise of River Country.
Well, I would hope so.
But that was years later in 2001. It
Oh,
closed.
Jesus.
But this was the incident. I guess it took them 20 years.
Who the hell else is getting in that
You
water
can't
after
just-
that?
They did.
Yeah.
You'd be
You
surprised.
can't just have gross standing water there forever. It's like a big pool, but with no chlorine or any cleaning or anything.
Yeah, I'm sure even if it's natural water, you can find some way to like disinfect. I don't know. All right, we got Disney's Polynesian Village Resort on April 6, 1982. There was a 2-year-old girl that died of a head injury after being injured outside a park restaurant. She was standing in line with her family outside of the Coral Isle coffee shop when she and her 12-year-old sister were playing with a rope tied to a large menu board.
Oh, boy.
The girls pulled on the rope and the board fell on top of the toddler, instantly killing her.
Oh, my God.
Oof.
Jesus.
What
this
is-
has to be like a big award for the money-wise, as far as a lawsuit. Please
No
tell me.
lawsuit.
What?
No lawsuit.
Well, Mark, to use your devil's advocate persona here,
Thank you.
where's the parents stopping them from pulling the sign down?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have big unsecured things.
Yeah,
like
that's got to
that,
be
that-
cleat mounted or something.
Yeah, that almost seems like a Looney Tunes like setup for like Porky Pig or something, like an Acme sign or something coming down and hitting Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You shouldn't have that.
No.
Also at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, 4/16/1982, the cause of death unknown. A 36-year-old woman collapsed and died while walking away from the water flume ride in River Country. So that was there's unknown lawsuit.
Spontaneous combustion
I guess so.
from the amoeba.
36-year-old woman, I think her age is still beating every other child that died's age combined at this point. It's all like 1 and 2 and 11 and 4.
Right. It's been a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So this
It's
lady.
still not like
yeah.
the heart attack kind of like area either. So like
Right.
that could be factored out.
Yeah. Yeah, this is still brutal. We're going on to another 1-year-old. On 6/12/1982, a 1-year-old girl was killed when she fell from a tram in the parking lot. Lawsuit unknown.
Wow.
Another one where the toddler or the baby, 1 minute they're there, the next minute gone.
Yeah.
The sign, the fall.
I wonder if like it's all this is kind of really settled, not even just like undisclosed, or like going around the court, but like really hush hush secret, like group just meeting and dropping off a bag of money at the house of the family or something.
Could be.
Like, I don't know. It's weird that there is just no even talk of a lawsuit or attempt.
Yeah.
It's interesting because that would be a drop in the bucket for Disney.
Right.
Like, don't talk about it, just give 'em a bunch of cash.
Yeah, but then legally they could be held liable. I don't know. I doubt they would do that. They don't want to pay for anything.
Sign off on something saying that they won't sue again in the future. Then
Yeah, it's like a bribe.
Yeah, you're right.
That shows their guilt, or they feel like they're guilty.
They send Winnie the Pooh over with a
Shotgun.
big bowl of honey.
Finish the rest of the family off. Now they won't sue.
I do like the idea of Winnie the Pooh going over with a big briefcase of money.
We heard you were in need.
Oh, bother.
This. Oh, bother. That was the worst Winnie the Pooh.
I know, both of ours were.
Mark, you got one?
No, I'm not even going to make an attempt.
All right. 8/9/1982, there was a 14-year-old boy that drowned at River Country. Surprise, surprise.
Close it down.
Yeah, he was pulled from the water at the River Country Cove about 5 minutes after he slid down a 60-foot slide into 5 feet of water. So that's tough. 5 feet of water, it's like just stand up.
Okay, easier said than done.
I guess. I don't know. There's no lawsuit
Monday
in this
morning
one.
quarterback here.
Yeah. On November 21st, 1984, in the Epcot parking lot, this is insane, there was a plane accident. A couple and their 1-year-old daughter were killed when the single-engine plane they were flying in crashed while attempting emergency landing in the Epcot parking lot. The aircraft was approaching an empty section of the parking lot when it clipped a light pole, shearing off the right wing and crashing into several parked cars. The family was flying from South Carolina to Florida for a Disney World vacation. Wow. I have never heard of that.
I honestly thought for a second this was like a 9/11 type scenario where they were it was like a terrorist thing.
A couple and their 1-year-old daughter.
yeah, that kind of makes it even more absurd.
God is good.
Muhammad Atta Sr.
Yeah. Oh man,
Jesus.
He's wearing Mickey ears. But the weird part is he was just really trying to go on vacation.
Yeah,
it was
that's
all
brutal.
just a mix-up that he crashed the plane.
So the dad.
I have to ask. I wonder if he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt or not. That would be my first question.
Oh boy. He. So it was the dad that was flying the plane then.
I don't think it was the kid.
Yeah. Well, it might have been.
Well, it sounds like it was the kid.
Baby pilot. It was a nader baby.
Oh my God.
It survived anything.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
to
geez.
the entire
R.I.P.
family.
Another Epcot parking lot, January 14th, 1986. There's a drowning in the parking lot. What's going on? The bodies of a 33-year-old man and woman were found in a retention pond after they drove their car down an embankment and into the water during a heavy rainstorm several days earlier. Authorities speculate that the two attempted to escape the vehicle through the driver's side window as it sank into the 6-foot deep water. No lawsuit for that.
Interesting.
It seems more like these people were just drunk and driving crazily.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think so. It sounds murky. And I'm not talking
Literally.
about the water.
Hey. May 23rd, 1987, a 6-year-old boy drowned in a swimming pool. The family later sued, stating that the resort should have had more than one lifeguard on duty to monitor the crowded pool, and that the pool should have had a safety line between the shallow and the deep ends. There
True.
was a lawsuit that Disney settled for $250,000.
That's it, huh? That's all they got.
Yep.
I think they made some good points. You have a lot of kids going through these pools. You should make everything very clear, right?
Yeah.
August 1st, 1987, another plane accident? A 27-year-old cast member was killed when the ultralight plane he was flying crashed during a show rehearsal. He was practicing for Epcot's Skylidoscope. Skylidoscope, nice. At an altitude,
Great title.
yeah, at an altitude of between 500 and 1,000 feet, when the ultralight suffered catastrophic structural failure, nosediving into the ground about 150 yards from Disney's airfield and 1.5 miles from Epcot. Unknown lawsuit. I mean, that one, geez. If the plane broke apart, you should absolutely be having a lawsuit.
Well, unknown probably means they got the bag of money.
Yeah, it could have been settled behind closed doors.
They got Winnie the Pooh's honey pot.
But I thought you have to disclose if there is a behind-the-scenes settlement. I thought that was the law.
Not in Florida.
Not when you run the town.
I think it's no man's land. Like just to bring up the Woody Harrelson's dad situation. Like, I think like some areas have like their own law system, and it's like totally backwards.
Yeah,
that's what feels like what's going on here in Florida.
Yeah.
Right. July 10th, 1989, a 13-year-old boy drowned at River Country. Wow. While swimming with 8 classmates and 2 counselors. Another swimmer felt the youth under his feet in about 5 feet of water and dragged him out. So he's just tap dancing on this guy. And then it's like, oh, wait, here's Chad.
Wow.
No lawsuit. This is insane. I think people are just scared.
Scared of what? When you experience tragedy, what is there to be scared of?
Yeah.
You have to go and get it. Like, that's a huge thing that occurred on Disney's watch.
Yeah.
And they have insurance for this. Like they're well insured for people just dying of anything. So like you're going for pools of money that aren't really coming from Mickey's pocket.
Right,
Like
exactly.
this is coming from insurance companies that have deep pockets.
Yeah. October 9th, 1989, there was a boating accident when a 33-year-old woman was killed. A small speedboat collided with a ferry boat. She and her son were broadsided by the ferry while trying to film friends and family members who were water skiing in the Seven Seas Lagoon. A crew member and a visitor on the ferry dove into the water and rescued the son, who was not hurt. The family sued, claiming that the ferry's operators should have seen the speedboat before it came so close. The deceased's husband sued Disney for $240 million.
Whoa.
He said Disney offered a settlement in the 7 figures to keep the suit out of court, but he declined, saying the offer was too low. And the final result is unknown.
This guy's making up for everyone else who didn't sue, allegedly.
Exactly. I think that's really like Disney's plan, is to be like, all right, we got away with this one. Let's put that on the saved money ticker.
Yeah.
And then just add it up and be like, oh, we still saved money.
Yeah.
The next one is crazy.
9/12/1992, a 37-year-old man entered Epcot after closing and pointed a shotgun at 3 security guards, demanding to see his ex-girlfriend who worked there. He fired 4 blasts at the guards and took 2 guards hostage in a restroom near the Journey into Imagination Pavilion.
That sounds like a great place to die.
It sounds so goofy when it's like it's like so serious. Yeah. Held hostage with a gun to his head in Imagination Land.
Tourists are taking pictures of him.
Yeah. This is
This is not part of the show.
This is a crazy show. When Orange County Sheriff's deputies surrounded the area, the shooter released his hostages and emerged with a shotgun held to his own chest. After exchanging words with deputies, he put the gun to his head and fired. Now that is a mess on aisle 5.
Nice.
Investigators attributed his actions to a recent breakup with his longtime girlfriend. There was no lawsuit, but there is a quote from a book, Inside the Mouse.
I can explain this one.
Okay.
So Inside the Mouse, it's a book that features interviews with people that have worked for Disney World. And this is a quote from the book from a former worker. If guests have the nerve to die, they wait like unwanted calories until they've crossed the line and can do so safely off the property. We had a guy last summer who went to Epcot, stood in front of the golf ball, took a gun and blew his head off, but he didn't die. The medic told me that they are not allowed to let them die there. Keep them alive by artificial means until they're off Disney property. Like there's an imaginary line in the road, and they go, he's alive, he's alive, he's dead.
He died. He's gone. We're off the property.
So
Heard about this? That they drag bodies actually off the property of Disney before they're considered dead. That's crazy.
But that's why they invested in their own emergency services. It's like to keep everyone safe, but it's really to have your own ambulances and be like, and now he's dead. Like that's literally what it is.
Just, whoa, that guy's dead over there.
Yeah.
they're holding
Across the
his severed head in their arms.
Yeah, they're like pressing it into his body.
There's still a chance that he can make it.
Yeah, they're holding it up. They're like, you're going to be okay.
Hang in there, buddy. We got you.
I like to imagine they have one big slingshot where they just shoot bodies over the
No, they load up a garbage bag with the carcass and all the guts, and then they have the janitor just throw it over the fence.
Whoops. Yeah.
So I've heard differing things that actually, in some ways, it's kind of standard practice where someone will be taken to the hospital and then they're declared dead at the hospital.
Yeah.
And I think Disney takes advantage of that.
Majorly.
Because this is a case, just like we've heard a bunch of them already, where they clearly died on the property.
Yeah.
And this is the most obvious example of that.
Right. Disney's Contemporary Resort Hotel on November 12th, 1992, an off-duty cast member fell off the ledge outside of the Top of the World restaurant on the Contemporary Resort's 15th floor. He was sitting on the ledge when a swarm of wasps appeared, and he tried to swat them away and lost his balance. That is Looney Tunes shit. He fell 11 stories.
Wait, are we talking white Anglo-Saxon Protestants?
Yeah. Yeah. A whole group of them swarmed him.
Kansas?
Yeah.
This sounds like Mr. Bean.
Yeah, for real.
Damn wasps.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I mean, some deaths are funny. You have to admit it.
I mean, that's pretty brutal. He's just sitting on the ledge, and then a bunch of wasps come out of nowhere, and then you're dead 11 stories down. And how does this have no lawsuit?
I don't know.
This is crazy.
What is he going to sue the wasps?
That is the most
The family?
cartoonish death I think I've ever heard of.
Are you going to serve a summons to the wasp nest?
Yes.
And aren't wasps one of the 7 signs of the apocalypse?
Locusts. I think.
Locust, there we
Yeah.
go. Never mind. I was trying to get something going with the apocalypse.
At Body Wars in Epcot on May 16th, 1995, another pre-existing condition. Mark, how old do you think this person is?
I think judging by this entire episode, I would say 12.
A 4-year-old girl with a heart condition passed out during a ride on the Wonders of Life Pavilion. The ride was immediately stopped and paramedics airlifted her to the Orlando Regional Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. No lawsuit.
God.
Wow.
Pre-existing condition at 4 years old.
They do take a lot of Make-A-Wish Foundation kids to this place. I'm not trying to
good
play,
point.
Mickey's devil's advocate here.
Hey, that's a decent point.
All right. You changed our mind.
Yeah. All right. So on the Skyway at the Magic Kingdom on February 14th, 1999, a 65-year-old custodian was killed while cleaning the Fantasyland Skyway station platform. The ride was turned on by staff who were likely unaware that he was there, and he fell off the seat. He was in the path of the ride vehicles and tried to grab a passing seat, but lost his grip and fell 40 feet. Oof. The Skyway ride, which had been scheduled to be closed before the accident occurred, was permanently closed on November 10th, 1999. So 8 months later.
Wow.
Or 9 months, sorry.
And this guy was a 65-year-old custodian nearing retirement probably.
Yeah.
So he's sitting down on his break. 2 more days till retirement. And he's
Whoa,
like, whoops.
OSHA fined Disney World.
He fell back like this.
Jesus. A second funny one.
OSHA fined Disney World $4,500 for violating federal safety codes. Well, if that's all it costs to violate federal safety codes, I'm violating every federal safety code.
Okay.
If I'm Disney World.
$4,500. So adjusted for inflation, that's like $20,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't realize anyone died on Splash Mountain, but that's where we're going now. November 5th, 2000. Splash Mountain is inside of Magic Kingdom. A 37-year-old man was fatally injured while trying to exit the ride vehicle while it was moving.
Not a great idea.
He told fellow passengers that he felt ill and attempted to reach one of the attraction's emergency exits. He was struck by the following ride vehicle and died.
Ugh.
Just wait. You'll be off the ride in 10 seconds.
Yeah. That's a short ride anyway.
Yeah.
You go through some racist countryside
Yeah, exactly.
jamboree.
Yeah.
And then they drop you in the water.
Yeah. And it's water. If you don't feel good, you just puke over the side into the water.
It'd make for a good photo, actually, if you puked on camera when you drop.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad proposing this, but what if you just really had to take a shit?
Shit off the side of the boat into the water.
Or in your pants.
All right.
I'd rather shit my pants than die.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
I'm going to quote you on that, Alejandro.
Yeah, no lawsuit on that one. On February 7th, 2003, a 31-year-old woman tripped and fractured her ankle on the stairs leading to a catch pool. She died of a pulmonary embolism the following month. So a blood clot went to her lungs. Yeah, no lawsuit there.
Yikes.
Pretty cut and dry on that one. February 11th, 2004, a 38-year-old cast member dressed as Pluto. Oh, God.
I don't like where this is going.
Back.
Oh, boy. A 38-year-old cast member dressed as Pluto died at the Magic Kingdom when he was run over by a Beauty and the Beast float in the Share a Dream Come True parade.
This just sounds awful.
So this is another cartoonish one. Gee, literally.
You think he was walking like a dog, too?
Oh, my God.
No, because sometimes Pluto acts like a dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Pluto? That's
Pluto
the
is the
question
dog.
they pose in Stand
Yeah.
By Me.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus. OSHA fined Disney $6,300 and issued a serious citation for having employees in restricted areas.
A pink slip.
Yeah. This is serious.
Wow.
Time out.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to go.
Beauty and the Beast float just comes and wrecks you.
During the Share a Dream Come True parade.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's not on Pluto. That is on the
Earth.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
Yes.
That is on the float driver for Beauty and the Beast. Like, how do you not see this person right in front of you?
what if it's like a train where he can't put the brakes on right away?
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yeah, those things, they barely crawl.
So then how did it kill this guy if it's so slow?
I don't know. It's like
What if-
Austin
what if it's-
Powers.
What if it's like the movie Speed?
Yeah.
Like the movie Speed, and it has to
Keep it
at
over
least
55,
25
hotshot.
miles per hour.
But in the park, keep it over 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Whereas Dennis Hopper will kill you. Yeah, that's brutal. I don't understand why that family would not sue and shut the park down.
Shut the park down. That's a little extreme.
Give me all the money, everything you have. In February of 2005, on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, a 77-year-old woman lost consciousness and died after riding the Pirates of the Caribbean. A medical examiner's report said the victim was in poor health and she had several mini strokes. No lawsuit.
Jeez. Amber Heard said that was her nana.
Yeah, good.
She was blaming Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
I need the Johnny Depp portion of that.
Yeah, to connect the circuit.
Because they changed one of the animatronics to be Johnny Depp after the movie was a hit.
Yes.
I never knew it was a ride. It was a thing even before the Johnny Depp movie.
Oh, it was based on the ride.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't know it. Yeah.
Really? This is one of the classic rides, Mark.
Yeah.
Like the teacups.
I know. I'm the opposite of Kyle. I'm not a Disney.
You
head.
are, yeah. You're a healthy, normal adult.
Let's not get crazy here.
That
Let's
isn't
go
obsessed
too
with
far.
Limp Bizkit. On the dinosaur
Yeah, my
ride.
Disney World is Woodstock 99.
Yeah, exactly. At the dinosaur ride at Animal Kingdom on April 30th, 2005, a 30-year-old man lost consciousness shortly after exiting the ride and died from a heart attack moments later. He had an artificial pacemaker. No lawsuit. All right.
I'm just going to throw it out there. If you have an artificial pacemaker, maybe don't go on a ride where there's a giant T-Rex that jumps out to scare you.
On Mission Space in Epcot, June 13th, 2005, A 4-year-old boy died after exiting the ride with a pre-existing condition.
There's a lot of 4-year-olds with pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, 1 to 4 years old. Like, oh God.
He died of old age, Disney wrote.
Yeah, exactly. It was his time.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah. An autopsy found that the boy died as a result of an existing undiagnosed idiopathic heart condition called myocardial hypertrophy.
Jeez.
So he had a big heart. His heart was too big. On June 12, 2006, his parents
This
filed.
generation, they give trophies out to anyone.
Yeah. Bleeding hearts.
Not even a trophy, a hypertrophy.
Hypertrophy Mountain. His parents filed a lawsuit against Disney claiming that Disney should have never allowed a 4-year-old on the ride due to the ride's height restriction for size over 44 inches and did not offer an adequate medical response after he collapsed and later died.
Fair.
Disney did not keep a defibrillator.
Defibrillator.
There we go. Near Mission Space, one of the most intense park rides. That's true. I nearly feel like I'm going to die on that. That ride is so intense. It's one of the most intense you'll ever find in any amusement park.
Really?
Is it still there?
Yeah. And they have actually multiple people have died on it. So they ended up there's 2 centrifuges, and one of them is the intense version, and the other one is like the easy version that doesn't actually like spin you super fast, because that's how they make it feel like you're blasting off into space, is they spin you like
that's
multiple
terrible.
G's inside of this little spaceship.
And it makes you want to throw up, I'm sure.
Oh, it makes you like almost pass out.
Why would you ride this? You chose to go on this ride.
It's so scary that it's awesome.
I mean, if you want a thrill, just, go drive on the 405 during traffic hour.
All right, Disney settled that for an undisclosed amount. At least the family got paid out.
I mean, you want a thrill, I can find one of those big trampolines.
Yeah.
Just jump on that for a few minutes.
At Disney's Typhoon Lagoon on August 4th, 2005, a 12-year-old girl felt ill while using the wave pool. Drinking all that piss.
Okay.
Lifeguards talked with her after noticing her lying down on the side of the pool, and she said she felt fine but passed out shortly after.
Oh, my God.
Lifeguards performed CPR until paramedics arrived, but she was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at Celebration Hospital. Yeah, Celebration.
What an annoying name for a hospital.
Yeah, welcome to Celebration Hospital. Your kid's dead.
It's terrible. I want to go to a hospital that's called Sit and Shiva.
Yeah.
Light a candle.
Sorry for your loss, hospital. Not Celebration.
Sorry for your hospital.
No, I don't like the wordplay in a hospital. Like, I don't want any fun.
We make it a little fun here.
Oh, yeah, that's like the Patch Adams argument. You don't want your doctor to run in the room wearing a clown nose.
Yeah. I would want the prick. So the autopsy showed that she died due to arrhythmia caused by an early stage viral heart infection. Wow. Fauci got her.
Fauci, ouchie.
Oh, hey. No jokes around this Celebration Hospital, okay, pal? Another one on Mission Space, April 12th, 2006. A 49-year-old woman fell ill after riding Mission Space and died at Celebration Hospital.
Okay,
Wow.
shut both of them down at this point.
It's the sequel here.
The hospital and Mission Space.
She had an autopsy that determined she died of a brain hemorrhage caused by long-standing and severe high blood pressure. So this is a pre-existing condition of a 49-year-old woman. We finally have a pre-existing condition of an adult.
Yeah, she also died from riding Mission Space.
Yes. Yeah, that'll get your blood pressure going. There was no lawsuit for this one because, I mean, that's pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
Aerosmith's Ride, the rock and roller coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Dude looks like a lady.
On
Kyle's thrown off now.
Yeah, because we have another very young pre-existing condition. So this is natural causes. On June 29th, 2006, a 12-year-old boy was found to be unresponsive after the ride ended. His father administered CPR until the paramedics arrived, but he was declared dead on the way to Celebration Hospital. A medical examiner determined that the boy had an undiagnosed congenital heart defect. No lawsuit. There were 2 Space Mountain deaths in 2006. One of a 6-year-old boy who died of natural causes. He was a victim of terminal cancer. He was visiting as a part of Give Kids the World program.
Oof.
Yeah, he had metastatic lung and brain cancer, so there was no lawsuit.
Ugh, Jesus. I guess if you have terminal cancer, why not die at Disney World?
Oh, I would love that. 73-year-old man passed out while riding Space Mountain. He was transported to the hospital and died 3 days later. The medical examiner found that the man died of natural causes due to a heart condition, so no lawsuits for those two.
Yeah.
In Animal Kingdom, a ride called Primeval Whirl.
This sounds dizzying.
Yes. November 27, 2007, a 63-year-old employee died from a brain injury sustained 4 days earlier when she was hit by a ride vehicle after falling from a restricted area on the ride platform. OSHA fined Walt Disney World $25,500 and charged them with 5 safety violations. The fines were $15,000 for 3 serious violations, $7,500 for still missing a handrail that had been reported, and $3,000 for not responding to OSHA requests within the time period.
So Disney doesn't even respond to OSHA?
No.
OSHA leaves them a voicemail. Hey, Disney, just seeing if you're around.
How about you suck my mouse dick?
You mean, how about you suck my mouse cock?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, OSHA has no juice down there in Florida. They just do whatever Disney says.
Yeah.
Are you okay with this fine? This is serious this time.
Hey, would this be suitable, you think, Mr. Mickey Mouse?
Pay the mouse.
How about no-sha?
Hey, nice. That's probably what they say all the time. On Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain.
See, this sounds like my kind of ride.
Oh, this one, it's a roller coaster that just speeds through. It's awesome.
Because I don't want to go to the real
Are you
Everest.
making up rides now?
Yes.
I want to go to the fake Everest where it's safer.
Yeah, this is Christmas week 2007. A 44-year-old man lost consciousness. He was given CPR on the ride's platform and was pronounced dead at the hospital. The autopsy concluded that the victim died of dilated cardiomyopathy, and the death was considered natural, so no lawsuit.
So they really dodge bullets with these natural causes.
Oh, yeah. It's natural causes, right, Doc? Yeah, he's got a tamping iron through his brain. That was natural. It happened naturally.
Yeah, he's got one of the Space Mountain cars through his head. He had a pre-existing heart condition.
Pre-existing fucking rail car in his head.
Yeah, there's a bolt sticking out of his throat. He had cancer.
He was Frankenstein.
One of the Pirates of the Caribbean swords is right through his chest. You know,
He brought that
I've
in.
never seen one. He brought that in.
Old age.
Yeah. Oh, we got our first monorail death here on July 5th, 2009.
Right after the 4th of July.
Yep. During a failed track switchover from the Epcot line onto the Magic Kingdom Express line, Monorail Pink backed into the Monorail Purple, killing Monorail Purple's 21-year-old pilot. I saw this. That thing was crushed.
You were there?
No, I saw the pictures.
Oh.
OSHA and park officials inspected the monorail line, and it reopened the next day after new sensors and operating procedures were put in place.
In one day.
So they can't put a fucking handrail that you just drill into the wall, but they can put new sensors and an operating procedure in place in one day? Yeah.
They probably hired a TaskRabbit to do it.
Yeah, it was me. The investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, showed no mechanical problems with the trains or the track, but did find that the track used in the switchover was not in its proper place for track transition. The NTSB also noted that the Purple's pilot attempted to reverse his train when he saw that there was going to be a collision. Disney placed 3 monorail employees on paid administrative leave as a result of the incident. They had to turn in their gun and badge. Desk duty.
Yeah.
On October 31st, 2011, the NTSB issued its findings on this incident, citing the probable cause as the shop panel operator's failure to properly align the switch beam before the monorail train was directed to reverse through it. As a result of the incident, cab riding for guests was discontinued. A supervisor at the restaurant off campus was directing trains at the time, which is no longer allowed.
I mean, that just sounded like all kinds of mess.
Yeah. Disney settled for an undisclosed amount with the victim's mother. OSHA ruled the crash preventable and proposed $44,000's worth of fines to Disney. Proposed. Is that all right? $44,000 this time?
Yeah, it's so arbitrary, all these fines.
Yeah.
If you have it laying around,
Like when Matthew Broderick was fined
There's no
$75
fee.
because he killed a family.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So then Disney kind of was like, hey, fuck off. And then the total got brought down to $35,200 from $44,000. So another victory for the Big Mouse.
For the Mouse House.
Yeah. On the Pirates of the Caribbean, August 6, 2009, a 47-year-old employee playing the role of a pirate in Captain Jack's pirate tutorial show accidentally slipped on a puddle on the stage and hit his head on the wall. According to notes from OSHA, the victim's fall was the result of receiving a small kick to his behind. So they kicked him in the butt, and then he...
So one of the other workers did that?
Yeah, it was probably part of the show.
Oh, right.
He was taken to the hospital with injuries that included broken vertebrae in his neck, cervical spine fracture, and severe lacerations on his head. He died 4 days later of bilateral pulmonary thromboemboli.
Let's just say a spinal injury.
Due to complications of immobilization for the cervical spine fracture. No lawsuit.
As good as any way to go, I guess.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
In 2009, a 30-year-old performer died after injuring his head while performing a tumbling role on the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular.
Boy, that's almost as big a disaster as the new Indiana Jones movie that's currently out.
Oh, shots fired.
Whoa.
Yikes.
This looks like the There Will Be Blood Ride or something.
No lawsuit for this one, but that, to me, smelled like there could have been one.
Stunt fatality.
Yeah.
Hollywood gets away with those. Disney does too.
But when you're a stunt person, though, I feel like you sign away a lot of your rights.
You do.
To sue or do anything if you get killed.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But on January 10th, 2010, 1/10/10, a 9-year-old boy was crushed to death by a Disney bus while riding his bicycle with another child. The victim appeared to turn his bike into the road and ran into the side of the bus, subsequently being dragged under the bus's right rear tire.
Oh, God.
Report stated that the bus driver, who has 30 years of experience with Disney, was not impaired or driving recklessly. That is just a horrific accident.
Yeah, it's a...
He went to the side of it. So he like T-boned it with his bike and then fell off and went under. Oof.
Unforeseeable accident.
Yeah. But the victim's mother did sue Disney for $15,000 and they settled out of court.
$15,000?
Yeah, that's how much your kid's life's worth.
That's how much one of the tires costs.
Aim higher, lady.
Wow. Yeah,
But that's brutal. That's
yeah,
Not
very brutal.
Not even OSHA would submit something that low.
yeah.
No. My God.
Ugh. They probably gave her free tickets for another day or something. We're not giving you your $15,000, but you can have this Christopher Robin doll.
Made out of your son.
Yeah, Jesus. In June 2010, we have the second suicide at Disney World. A dead body was discovered inside the hotel. The manner of death was originally unknown, but was later ruled a suicide. So that was at the Doubletree Guest Suites.
Sounds like a depressing place to stay.
Yeah. On the Prince Charming Regal Carousel in Magic Kingdom, another time right around Christmas of 2010, a 77-year-old woman with a pre-existing condition collapsed after exiting the ride.
Aren't those carousels pretty tame?
Well, not when you have pre-existing conditions, I guess.
When you got a dodgy heart, anything could
Yeah.
possibly kill you.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like that Andy Kaufman bit where he made the horses go really fast and the old lady couldn't keep up.
At the Disney's Port Orleans Resort, the day after Christmas 2010, a 69-year-old man died after stepping in front of a moving Disney bus in the parking lot.
A lot of bus accidents.
The victim was not in the crosswalk, so the bus had the right of way.
Oh, there you go, Disney.
So there's
Congratulations.
No lawsuit.
God.
I mean,
Probably another guy nearing retirement.
yeah. Hey, he might have done it on purpose. You don't know.
You don't.
The primeval whirl takes its second person in March of 2011.
So it's a serial killer at this point.
It's
The
another.
whirl.
It's another employee. A 52-year-old employee sustained head injuries while working on the ride and was airlifted to a hospital where he later died. The ride was undergoing maintenance and was closed to the public at the time of the incident. OSHA fines Disney $69,000 for safety violations. Part of this was for a repeat citation since Disney had no guardrails where the victim was working again.
Are you kidding me?
The same fucking place.
God. Well, you know what they say. Second time,
obviously,
shame on
Disney-
me.
No handrail once, shame on you.
Yeah.
It seems like the plot of a Stephen King book or something. Like this thing is just killing people.
The ride is alive.
The primeval whirl.
yeah. Yeah. It's like The Mangler. Remember The Mangler, that movie?
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
In fact, the primeval whirl, that's a scarier title than Christine, his book about the killer car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Disney's Pop Century Resort on March 12, 2013, a 13-year-old boy drowned at the Hippy Dippy pool in the resort. He was swimming with some other guests, and there were no lifeguards on duty at the time. The boy drowned in 4 feet of water and was pulled by a paramedic who tried to revive him, but he later died at the hospital. No lawsuit.
Okay, what was going on here? 4 feet of water? Did he pass out or something?
They go hard at the Hippy Dippy pool over there.
Okay, Kyle. This is a serious
I know.
incident.
I know, but these are just so ridiculous, the names of things.
Look, if I die in the Hippy Dippy pool, please pull me out.
I'm just going to throw a speaker playing Ween into it.
I do not want Hippy Dippy in my obituary.
Toy Story Mania at Disney's Hollywood Studios. In 2014, a 64-year-old woman lost consciousness on the ride and died. This seems very common. The death was not believed to be related to the ride. No lawsuit. Pre-existing condition for a 22-year-old woman on It's a Small World, which is one of the least intense rides you could possibly get.
It's a relaxing ride.
Yeah.
It's a world of laughter, a world of joy.
It's
Boom,
a world
get
of death.
And this was on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day 2014, yeah.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
No lawsuit. The Disney World Speedway on April 12th, 2015, there was an accident. A 36-year-old driving instructor was killed in a crash during a run as part of the exotic driving experience. The instructor was riding in the passenger seat of the Lamborghini Gallardo when the driver lost control and crashed into a metal guardrail. The Florida Highway Patrol investigated and announced that while a decision to run vehicles clockwise instead of counterclockwise may have been a factor, it was ruled an accident and no charges were filed against the driver. No lawsuits filed against Disney.
Okay, so that was just a mutual agreement on all sides.
Yeah. The Space Mountain, fourth and final Space Mountain death, July 7th, 2015, a 55-year-old woman died of cardiopulmonary arrest and septic shock at Florida's Celebration Hospital after losing consciousness while on the ride. According to the medical examiner, her medical history showed a history of hypertension and congestive heart failure. No lawsuit.
Wow.
Art of Animation Resort in 2015, a 3-year-old child was found at the bottom of a pool, becoming separated from his parents. The child was pronounced dead at an area hospital. No lawsuit.
Okay, that was just... There weren't enough details to know exactly what was going on there.
Sounds like the parents fucked up.
Yeah.
The third suicide at a Disney resort. In 2016, the monorail service was temporarily suspended while the Orange County Sheriff's Office investigated a potential suicide. According to sources, the person jumped to their death inside of the central A-frame tower.
Seems like the monorail's a popular jumping spot.
Monorail! Disney's...
Monorail. Yeah. A monorail.
Yeah, there's blood on Conan O'Brien's hands.
Yeah, he glamorized the monorail.
And Phil Hartman.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
Didn't Phil Hartman play the monorail guy?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
At the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa in 2016.
This is the most famous death by far at Disney World.
This is when an alligator attacked a 2-year-old boy at 9:15 p.m. on the shore of the Seven Seas Lagoon. His parents unsuccessfully tried to intervene, and the boy was pulled into the water. His body was found the following afternoon in the vicinity of where he went missing, in about 6 feet of water.
It has to be the most horrific thing ever.
Yeah, that is absolute. Ugh. The dad was wrestling the alligator for the kid. Ugh.
Man, how are you gonna fight an alligator? How are live alligators have that close proximity to actual people in this park?
Well, this is a part of I believe downtown Disney, and there's all these lagoons and stuff. You used to be able to take small personal boats, and me and my stepdad, my cousin, all took one boat, one speedboat. You're barely big enough to fit in, and you drive it through all the resorts and stuff because everything that the river goes around, it's all connected by the river. So you could go to Pleasure Island, you could go any other type of little island you want. But there's actual, snakes and alligators that are in those waters. It's like the Everglades.
Mm-hmm. So as part of that,
it's not like its own ecosystem that just pushes out everything else. There's actual animals in the wild there.
Exactly.
And Disney just says, hey, that's what comes with staying here in this state. Yeah. That's the risk you get going a lot of places in Florida.
Yeah, and I think the only thing they did was just take a sign and put a stake in the sand, right next to it. It was hey, by the way, there's alligators here.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah. The aftermath. Since the incident, Disney added warning signs, right? And rope barriers to waterways around the entire resort. For a short time, references to alligators were removed from a number of attractions, including the Jungle Cruise, and a joke was removed from the script. The one-liner of the captain says, "Watch your children or the crocodiles will." Wow.
Oh, ho, ho. That's such a hack line.
Yeah.
Big loss.
Oof. There was no...
Jay Leno wrote that line.
No.
Hey, you believe this, Mavis?
Watch your children or the crocodiles will.
There was no public lawsuit. However, many suspect that Disney settled outside of court because the family opened up a probate. I hope they got a hell of a ton of money for that.
Yeah.
On Star Tours, the adventure continues at Disney Hollywood Studios. In October of 2016, a 67-year-old man died after exiting the ride. Pre-existing heart condition, no lawsuit.
This is the Star Wars ride, to remind everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe that guy also saw the new installments and
Yeah.
and killed him.
So J.J. Abrams basically killed this guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Not only did he kill the franchise, killed a person.
A 67-year-old man.
Back-to-back natural deaths at Disney in 2017. One on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. A 54-year-old man died after exiting the ride. And then at Epcot, there was a runner in the Disney Wine and Dine half marathon who collapsed and died near the finish line in the Epcot parking lot. No details disclosed, no lawsuit.
People need to stop exiting rides.
Yeah, or running a half marathon.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, fuck that.
And if you run a full marathon, I heard that they shit blood at that point.
Oh, their nipples are like ripped off, bleeding, yeah.
What?
Yeah, people's shirts like rub up against them and their nipples will be bleeding by the end of a marathon. Yeah.
Terrible.
Bloody nips. All right. At the Caribbean Beach Resort, Pop Century and Caribbean Beach Resort in 2018, a 33-year-old cast member died in an industrial accident near the resorts. A Toro utility cart crushed the employee, causing him to fall unconscious. I would imagine so. Workers who were unable to lift the cart, along with officials... workers were they tried to get it off him and they couldn't. And he was pronounced dead at the scene, which I'm confused about because they never say they're dead at the scene.
Maybe this one they finally threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Like, all right, he's a pancake.
All right, you got us.
He's a
like a makeup call.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a non-breathing human pancake. It's kind of hard to revive him at this point. R.I.P., by the way.
OSHA, yes, of course. OSHA ruled, no surprise, Disney was not at fault. No fine. The victim's wife filed a wrongful death lawsuit for more than $15,000 against the manufacturers, distributors, and sellers of the cart. And the status of these cases became unknown. Disney admitted that the employees are not required to read the manufacturer's manual for the equipment. Why would they admit that?
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Don't read the manual that tells you how to do your job.
Yeah. In Epcot again in 2018, a person was found dead inside of a burning car near Disney's Fantasia Gardens mini golf course at the park. No other information is released. What?
Did he think it was Burning Man?
He was burning, man. Right next to the mini golf course, people were probably putting around him. Oh, just shoot it next to the Burning Man.
Is this part of the course?
Yeah, par for the course.
Looks so realistic. Yeah. It smells like burning flesh.
Yeah, put it right through Ghost Rider, and we'll be good. That's insane. I need more details on that. We'll have to do a follow-up on that one. At the JW Marriott in 2018, 2 workers on the site of the hotel that was under construction fell to their death when the scaffolding collapsed. A lawsuit was filed against the 2 construction companies, PCL and Universal Engineering Sciences Incorporated. There's no settlement here. In 2019, a worker fell behind the France Pavilion. It's believed that he fell from the roof or cherry picker where the upcoming attraction Remy's Ratatouille Adventure was being developed. I know exactly where that is.
So a worker fell on the job.
Yeah.
Hopefully the family got taken care of.
No lawsuit.
They may have still gave him something.
Yeah. In 2019, another runner died while in the 5K.
Oh, it's even less of a race.
Yeah. It was pronounced natural causes.
Wow.
In 2020, there was the 4th suicide. Deputies from Orange County responded to the resort around 4 p.m. after receiving a call that a woman may have jumped off the building. Upon arrival, they found an unresponsive woman who was pronounced dead at the scene.
And I believe that's the last suicide. There's been 4 total.
That's crazy.
Including that Epcot one that was over the top.
Yeah. At the Caribbean Beach Resort, a 43-year-old woman fell and hit her head. She died 4 days later at the hospital. A lawsuit was filed in June 22. As of September 2022, the resort and Disney have denied liability and moved to dismiss the lawsuit on grounds of lack of information.
Okay.
Spaceship Earth at Epcot. A 66-year-old male guest experienced medical issues, and he was later pronounced dead at the hospital. He died of natural causes stemming from heart problems.
A lot of these late 60s guys are going on these rides and dying.
Yeah.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Bum, bum, bum. What are you thinking?
Wait, it's suicide by amusement park ride?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? That's a good way to go. The next 2, 58-year-old man, pre-existing condition, Spaceship Earth.
Again, Spaceship Earth.
An 83-year-old man on the People Mover.
So, sorry to interrupt, but this 58-year-old man on Spaceship Earth heard about the 66-year-old man who died on Spaceship Earth a couple months before.
I'm going for it.
Then he copied him.
Yep. 83-year-old man died of a heart attack on the People Mover in 2022, and that is the last. So far, Disney parks have taken 63 people from us as of 2023. So the whole
Are we counting Roy Disney in that?
No, we're not. We could count Roy and Walt, so bring it up to 65.
Put an asterisk next to it.
Oh, there's definitely asterisks next to this because I'm sure there's been more that haven't been reported.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably throwing cast members down trash chutes and not telling anybody.
Crazy, though.
Yeah.
This is quite a list.
Yeah, there you have it. There were a good amount of natural causes, but I don't know about the 1-year-old to 4-year-old demographic of natural causes or pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, I think there should be like an FBI or Department of Justice investigation into all these deaths and to find out exactly what's going on.
You hear that, Eisner? Mark Mulcairn and the DOJ are coming for you.
I think Eisner's...
Merrick Garland, this is notice to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Eisner's long gone at this point.
Oh, he's back.
Is he back?
He's back.
No, Bob Iger.
It's Iger. That's what it was. Yeah, Iger's back. Yeah.
You hear this, Iger?
Yeah, Iger.
We're coming for you.
Yep, here we go. We're on strike. We got time.
Pay your writers and pay your family members who died or something, whatever.
That's right.
Iger, know what you did last summer.
There's something there.
Final thoughts.
R.I.P. to everybody.
Yes.
Disney has not paid nearly enough in, their responsibilities for these deaths.
I hate to say it, but when it's just 67-year-old man slips on a banana peel and falls down 11 stories,
Yeah.
it's easier to laugh at that.
Right. Yeah. Wasp on a roof. I mean,
Yeah.
jeez.
Some are more cartoonishly humorous than others, but they're all sad just the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasps on a Roof is the hit sequel to Snakes on a Plane, I think. This, I want these motherfucking wasps off my motherfucking roof. Ah!
Does anyone have any final bits to say or forever hold your peace?
No, that is it.
I mean, I don't know if I can call it the happiest place on earth anymore.
Yeah.
More like the deadliest.
Well, we can add on the Disney kill list, much like the Hillary Clinton kill list. Add Bobby Driscoll onto that, but it wasn't at the park, but he died other ways.
Absolutely, because of the mistreatment of that poor man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe Bob Crane, because he starred in that Disney movie Superdad.
Yeah, right before he
Yes.
got offed by Carpy.
And Disney, if you'll give me a job, Bob Iger, I take everything back I said here.
Yeah.
And we'll delete the episode.
Yeah. Offer a full retraction.
Yeah. And an apology.
Yeah.
We accept any form of payment. Winnie the Pooh's honey, Mickey Funbucks,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all we got.
Okay, well, I have a couple new reviews here.
Okay.
From Districtine. Listen to this. I just subscribed, and this is my new favorite podcast.
Hey.
And then from Una Berico. Love, love, love. This is one of my faves. I listened to all the episodes and can't wait for the next one. Love you guys. The way the story is told and the in-between banter just makes this podcast amazing. Can't wait to listen to more.
Hey, we got more coming.
And then finally, Dashboard Drummer. Awesome. I love this podcast. It was recommended to me by a friend who knows one of the guys. Really funny yet informative about Hollywood history. Love it.
Yeah, baby. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Right back at you.
Make sure you mosey on over to our Patreon, where we now offer free trials to our exclusive hit content that you're not going to find anywhere else, where the podcast on John Mark Carr and Disneyland are going to be. At John Mark Carr's already up there. Disneyland will be up there shortly. So you'll get to hear about Disney World this week and Disneyland on Patreon. What?
Oh, my God. What a deal.
Yeah.
When you wish upon a star.
Hey, wish upon these nuts.
What else is there to say to that?
No, there's only one thing left to say.
Don't go dying on us.
See y'all real soon.
You have just heard
A true Hollywood.
Shocker. I have never seen anything like this before.
The movies, Broadway, music, television, all of it.
A place that manufactures nightmares.
Okay, everybody, that's a wrap.
Good night. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon.